Welcome to Tech of Friendship. My name is Kai, and my pronouns are they, them.
My name is Marty, my pronouns are they, them.
My name is Hannah, and my pronouns are she, her.
We have watched our favorite anime, Scooby Doo and the Cyber Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Scooby Doo's my favorite anime.
Mm-hmm.
This is, to remind our listeners, a podcast about game-based anime. Scooby Doo is my favorite game-based anime, and Scooby Doo and the Cyber Chase includes wacky video game hijinks.
This is a sports anime. I didn't quite expect that.
Yeah, there is a theme of baseball. Yeah. There is a lot of baseball in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
If you die in the game, you die in real life.
Yeah, a lot of high stakes in this one, you know? This is what anime's all about. Living on the edge.
Yeah.
You know, if you strike out in the game,
Yep.
You strike out in real life. You strike out in your heart. Shaggy was crying real tears that day.
He was crying real tears because he couldn't get all the Scooby snacks.
Scooby snacks are a metaphor.
He and Scooby both were crying. The Scooby snacks are a metaphor for friendship and yummy food.
Just like this show.
Yes!
Tech of Friendship is about friendship and yummy food.
Hey, did you guys know you are my friends?
You're my friend.
We are?
Yes, you are.
You guys are my friends!
This is an amazing coincidence, the likes of which have never been seen
And the
before.
Scooby
or
Gang
will
is
be
all
seen
friends,
since.
too.
They're all friends, and they had a friend who made a video game.
Except for, Fred and Daphne, or maybe Velma and Daphne, who might be dating, depending on which movie you watch.
You know, if you're not friends with the person you're dating, then, like, you're doing it wrong. I'm just gonna say.
True.
If you're not friends with a person with an ascot, your friend group is entirely too straight, and you need to rethink your priorities.
That is also true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's hard for me to get my thoughts straight right now.
Hey!
Hey! Yeah, so
gay.
we watched Scooby Doo and the Cyber Chase, which this is from the late 90s, early 2000s run of Scooby Doo movies that included Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost, Scooby Doo meets the Alien Invaders, Scooby Doo and Zombie Island, which is one of my favorite eras in Scooby Doo history. I'm just showing my cards now. I am an enormous Scooby Doo nerd. Like, it was my absolute favorite show growing up. And my brother is literally Shaggy in real life. Like, he has been Shaggy for Halloween 3 years in a row. And, I don't know, like, our family is just very big on Scooby-Doo. So I grew up with this movie. Hannah, this was the first time you'd seen it, right?
Right. I'm not a huge Scooby-Doo connoisseur. I am a Scooby-Doo noobadoo.
You're a newbie-doobie-doo?
I'm a newbie-doobie-doo. I watched a couple of the cartoons growing up. Nothing, like, if you asked me to name a Scooby-Doo villain, I would say, who are you? Get out of my house. And also, I can't. I've seen the live-action films. I guess I'd say Tim Curry, because I did see Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, because I am bisexual. And I love the Hex Girls. But yeah, no, I've never seen this. I've never watched, like, a full series of Scooby-Doo. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we need to change that. But you're also still valid.
Oh, thank you.
That just means it's an excuse for me to have you over to my house and trap you inside all weekend and have a Scooby-Doo marathon with you.
Well done on that. It's very effective.
So Marty, were you familiar with Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase?
I was. Watching this movie kind of awakened some, like, memories of when I was a kid. I think when I was a kid, I actually had, like, a Burger King puzzle or something that came in, like, the Burger King meal, like, the toys that had Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase on it when I was little.
Nice.
And I remember watching this when it was on Cartoon Network quite a few times. And, I haven't seen it in a really long time. I haven't watched Scooby-Doo since, like, middle school or early high school. So this was a good refresher. As, like, okay, when I started watching this, it was as if, like, a whole memory had been awakened in me, and I knew exactly what was gonna happen in, like, every moment of this movie. But, like, I hadn't seen it in a long time. It's weird.
Yeah. No, I felt the same way. Like, this is one of the Scooby-Doo movies I watched the most as a child. I would say it's probably either between this or Scooby-Doo meets the Boo Brothers.
Oh, yeah, that one too.
Yeah,
I think my favorite growing up was Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School.
Oh, yeah, that one scared me too much. It was, like, one of the only Scooby-Doo movies that scared me. I cannot tell you why.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know
just
why.
loved all the little girl versions of the monsters. They were adorable.
Yeah, no, they are super cute. As an adult, I love it. Like, it's weird. Adult me likes all the Scooby-Doo stuff that child me didn't like. Like, as a child, I really didn't like The Witch's Ghost or Zombie Island, and now those are, like, my favorite Scooby-Doo movies. So, I don't really know. I guess my tastes have just developed. But,
yeah. I kind of grew up with, like, Billy and Mandy and, like, Courage the Cowardly Dog, and I would watch those all the time. So, like, Scooby-Doo was kind of a cakewalk for me when I was little. And it was still one of my favorite shows, but it wasn't as scary as, like, Courage the Cowardly Dog could get. So I watched both of those pretty religiously, but Scooby-Doo was one that my mom would let me watch more of.
Well, you cool kids wouldn't have hung out with lame old little Hannah Boyens, because she was scared of everything.
Oh, I was scared of everything. I think Scooby-Doo was, like, the most intense thing I could handle.
Hell, I couldn't even handle Scooby-Doo. Like, there was that one SpongeBob episode where, like, Gary ran away from home, and I said, no thank you.
No.
I said, I'm out.
The episode where Gary runs away, they reveal that the lady that housed him was planning on eating him. So, like, that episode was terrifying as a child.
That's true.
Even I will say that, like, right out, so...
I was more of a Nickelodeon kid, so I didn't get on board the Scooby-Doo train until much later when my parents decided I was ready for the live-action movies, which are very near and dear to my heart, even if, like, I know they're not, from some Scooby-Doo aficionados, considered very accurate to the lore.
Oh, who cares about lore? Scooby-Doo has gone through so many different iterations. Like, lore is a non-issue. As long as you have the 4 humans and Scooby-Doo, and they're all friends, and they're having fun, and they're Scooby snacks and monsters, then it's fine.
I did actually watch a little bit of What's New Scooby-Doo, and it was, like, just Scooby and Shaggy, and I did not like it. I was like,
That's not What's
Really?
New. Yeah.
Or
yeah, I know what you're
like,
talking about. Those movies that...
No, Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue. That's the one I watched.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen very much of the new stuff. Like, anything past Mystery Incorporated I haven't seen.
Yeah, I would say Mystery Incorporated is, like, the newest thing I've seen. I know that there's, like, a puppet version of the show, and that's weird. I saw that browsing through, like, the DVDs at Walmart one time, and I was like, why are they puppets? And then there's one that looks kind of like a Family Guy cartoon, and that one's ugly.
Well, there was one time I remember... like, the old Scooby-Doo cartoons, if I remember correctly, it was never supernatural. It was always some guy in a mask with a bunch of wires and stuff. And now it's almost always supernatural. And then there's just some normal dude, like, pulling the strings behind the curtain. But the question is never like, no, ghosts aren't real, or like, witches aren't real, or like, Frankensteins aren't real. It's like, no, they're 100% real, and you should be afraid of them, but you should be more afraid of the capitalist behind the curtain who's pulling the strings of this poor vampire. And I'm like, wow, really makes you think.
Yeah.
We live in a society.
Yeah. I think that trend kind of started in the 90s.
Yeah.
Because, like, or maybe even in the 80s, if you count, like, the Scrappy-Doo era, where, like, you know, you had the Ghoul School where, like, they were, like, 100% real monsters. They were just chill.
Well, wasn't there one time when, like, Shaggy was in a drag race with,
the
like,
reluctant werewolf.
Yeah, he was like a werewolf for a while, and everyone was just like, yeah, and now you have to compete in a motor drag race. Not like RuPaul's Drag Race, although I would pay to see that.
Oh my gosh, Shaggy would win in a heartbeat.
He would win.
Shaggy in drag.
Although I think Shaggy in Drag Race would just be Katya. I don't know if anyone...
I think Scooby would be better at drag than Shaggy, though, I will say, because it seems like on average he dresses in drag more than Shaggy does.
You right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we've gotten a little bit off topic. So, for those who aren't aware, the plot of Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. Where to begin? So the gang has a friend from high school named Eric, and they're going to visit...
He looks like Herbert West.
He does look like Herbert West. They're going to visit him on his college campus, where, himself, his classmate, Bill, and their...
Yeah, his name is Bill McElmore.
Yeah. Their very, shaggy-haired professor...
Yeah, their professor, I don't remember what his name is, but he's got, like, a lion's mane
I honestly
going on.
love it.
German. He's my favorite character.
Yeah, so they have created a video game and a laser pointer that has the technology to beam real-life items into a video game, and I'm assuming vice versa, which is incredible.
Do you know how much I would pay to meet Waluigi?
Right?
Oh my
He
gosh.
would solve
You're
world
so right,
hunger.
though.
He could do it. He could bring us out of these dark times. You know it.
Shaggy and
It's
Scooby
true.
were illegally downloading food from the internet, and it just reminded me of those memes that are like, you wouldn't download a car.
I totally
Yeah.
would download a car. Those commercials merely inspired me. I was like, wait, can I? Should I?
Can I?
Dare I?
Maybe. I should.
Anyway, back to the plot. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, so a virus has formed in Eric's video game, and the virus comes out of the computer and into real life, and is chasing everyone, and then the Scooby Gang shows up, and through some sort of shenanigans, they end up beamed into the video game, which the video game is based on them, by the way, and you have to find Scooby snacks to complete each level. There are 10 levels, and they need to play through all the levels and escape the game. And in the process, they're also trying to figure out who
programmed the
Yeah,
virus
who
that
the
is
virus
constantly
is.
attacking them.
Yeah, I can't think of much else more to say as far as plot goes. Like, it's kind of out there for a Scooby-Doo movie, but, like, this is the era that gave us Zombie Island, and...
Tim Curry was a witch.
Yeah, and the witch's ghost where, like, there are real monsters, so... I don't know, the
They
idea
gave
that
Fred and Daphne anime eyes.
Yeah.
This is the anime eyes Fred and Daphne era.
I think movies actually were animated by a Japanese studio, if
That makes sense
I remember
to
correctly.
me.
Nice.
So it is an anime.
Technically,
As we
yes.
are.
Daphne
an
fights a
anime podcast.
samurai with a rake.
She does.
Here's what I know about the Scooby Gang with my limited knowledge. Fred is a himbo. Daphne
Yes.
kicks ass, and she's really good at makeup. Velma's smart and a lesbian. Shaggy is a stoner, but also the smartest person in the group. Gooby is even smarter than the smartest person in the group, and he's a fucking dog who is also a stoner. And I'm
Do you wanna know something
99%
funny?
sure that the van is Shaggy's, even though he never seems to drive it.
Do you want to know something funny?
Hit me!
So in Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc., they basically confirm that Scooby is like a hybrid between a dog and an alien, and that's why he can talk.
Whoa.
I didn't need to know that. I just assumed, Scooby Snacks had some sort of, I don't know, god-giving properties. I just assumed Scooby-Doo was a god!
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair assumption to make as well.
Wait a second. Dog, spelled backwards,
It's
is
God.
God.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
I
I've
see.
cracked it. I've done it.
You've You've connected the dots.
Wow.
Just like the Scooby Gang connected these levels to get to the final level where they meet their clone selves from the 60s.
Yeah.
They do that.
That was kind of fun. Yeah, in the last level, they get to meet their video game avatars, which are just the older versions of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then
They fight, some of the old villains show up. That's kind of cool, right? The
Yeah.
Creeper and the Iron Face and the Tar Monster.
Tarman.
That was pretty
President
cool.
Andrew Madison.
What?
I didn't.
I
just
missed
wanted
an
to be
episode of
included.
Scooby-Doo.
I don't know. I thought of it. I was trying to think of a president and I panicked. And I mixed up James Madison's with Andrew Jackson.
I was gonna believe you, okay?
Andrew Madison. Andrew Madison is one of
I want to see. Okay, for real though, I want to see an episode where it's just Scooby-Doo meets all the U.S. presidents.
Oh my god.
Ethan and I have a game that we play a lot where it's because they used to do a lot of crossovers, right? Like Scooby-Doo meets the Harlem Globetrotters, Scooby-Doo meets
and
Batman.
Kiss.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo meets Kiss.
Scooby-Doo and WWE a couple of times
Scooby-Doo
I've
and
heard.
John Cena.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we were like, okay, if you could make Scooby-Doo crossover with anyone or any franchise, living or dead,
Oh, that's good.
what would you pick? So,
Saw.
oh no!
I
I didn't go that far, but I did say it would be fun to see Michael Myers show up in a Scooby-Doo special. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, we said Hellboy might be fun.
Aw, that'd be a good, medium ground.
Yeah.
Who would I want?
But Ethan did bring up, it would be fun to have Scooby-Doo meet some of the presidents. Just the ghost.
The ghost of the presidents.
I would like to see Scooby-Doo interact with the characters of the famous novel by, who wrote Les Mis?
Victor Hugo.
Victor Hugo, because it would not work.
Scooby-Doo meets the Hunchback of Notre
Scooby
Dame.
stole a loaf of bread.
Scooby-Doo stole a loaf of bread, and it's just a one big, like,
Scooby-Doo meets cats.
Scooby-Doo and Cats, the movie. No!
ugh.
That's too cursed. I'm trying to think of, like, things to say about the actual cyber chase, but, like, I can't really think of that much to say about it. It's like, I don't know, that's a movie I watched. I will say, again, like, I still like it, but it definitely doesn't hold up as well as I remember it.
I like that
From
as
my
your
youth.
review. Kyla Brugel on Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. That is a movie I watched.
Yeah,
That is indeed a movie that we watched.
I like it, but a lot of it is just really far-fetched for Scooby-Doo. Because the thing is that I like about Scooby-Doo is it's very reality-based. Although, I don't know, who's to say that we couldn't invent a laser that can beam people into video games?
Or
I
a
mean,
dog who says human things.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you got me there. That's true. I do like how Velma handled all of it, by the way. Like, when Eric is explaining the technology behind the video game, Velma's like, oh, yeah, it's very simple. It's just, you do this. And I did like that. I thought that was really funny.
I like that the internet demon was scared of magnets.
Well, because that is a real thing. Like, magnets erase data from computers, so that is a very smart weakness for a computer virus.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I also just like the idea that magnets, like, can defeat anything.
Yeah, just holding up a magnet.
Yeah.
Be gone, thought.
I also like that
Heavy.
they kind of confirmed in this one that that this era of Scooby-Doo is like they're based in like their college years.
Yeah,
Because they said that they went to the high school with this guy.
Yeah.
I do like
So-
that, too.
Yeah.
They're taking a gap year.
Yeah, I think it's already confirmed that they're all, like, somewhat well off, because I think Daphne is, like, comes from a rich family, and then Shaggy inherited his dead uncle's wealth, which is the plot
Yeah,
of
his
Scooby-Doo
dead
meets the Boo
Confederate
Brothers.
uncle's wealth.
Yeah, Shaggy... Okay, I can tell you so many things, Hannah, about Scooby-Doo, and it would sound like I'm making them up, but I'm not.
I wanna hear all of them.
Shaggy's ancestor was a Confederate general,
What?
and he's also a real person. General Beauregard was a real person.
They just
But
said,
in
fuck this guy, let's make him
Scooby-Doo
fiction.
canon, he is Shaggy's, like, uncle or something, and he
What?
dies and leaves Shaggy his mansion and all of his wealth. He has, like, all these this treasure and gold and stuff, which, Shaggy conveniently decides to donate to an orphanage, which is very kind, because that's how he is.
Good man.
But I still like to imagine that, like, this is probably how they get all their gas money for the mystery machine.
Mm-hmm. Again, I really do think, and someone who knows Scooby-Doo lore can correct me, that is Shaggy's van. It's just who else would paint it that way? No one.
I don't know. Fred really loves that van. So.
Yeah, it might be Fred's. I don't know, though.
Maybe it's just all of theirs. I mean, they could have all, like,
Well, that would have been cute.
pitched in together.
Maybe it was like a Muppet scenario where they, like, stopped for a brief nap, and then when they woke up, it was just like that, thanks to some helpful hippies.
See, I was thinking maybe Fred had bought it, and then Shaggy was the one to paint it as like
Ooh, I
a surprise
like
because
that.
it was like really ugly before or something. I don't know.
Yes. Can I also say one thing about this movie? It liked baseball too much.
Yeah.
Well, no, the guy that made the cyber chase thing, who made the virus, was just like a baseball fanatic.
Yeah, let's just get in. So,
Boring.
yeah, spoiler
It is.
alert. The villain of this movie is Bill, the other student who was jealous of his classmate because his classmate created a laser that can put real things into video games, and Bill made a baseball video game for his senior project.
And, like, he didn't even think that, like, creating a virus that is sentient and can go in and, like, destroy an entire, like, possibly lives. Like, those people's lives were in danger. And he thought, no, I won't sell this to the military.
Right? Well,
I'm gonna use it for video games.
I don't know.
I'm
he's
gonna
just
play
so-
baseball.
He's just so sold on this baseball game, because, like, he shows it to Fred, and Bill's like, yeah, baseball's the greatest sport in the whole world. It's just the best thing ever. And, like, his game is, I'm sorry, his game looks really lame.
It is.
Here's the brilliance of this movie. I was so zoned out when he was talking about baseball that I kind of forgot he existed. So by the time the plot twist rolled around that they were like, it was Bill, I was like, who's Bill? So that's genius.
That's one
funny as hell.
way to go about it. But yeah, throughout the whole thing,
It's like
Cyber
the-
Chase keeps making baseball references.
It's
And then at the end,
Okay,
they're like, oh, we knew it was Bill because the Cyber Chase really likes baseball.
Yeah, literally, like, throughout the whole thing, as soon as they made it apparent that Bill really liked baseball, and then you hear the virus go, batter up, I went, oh god, it's the guy that likes baseball, he did this.
Yeah.
I just pointed
This
at everyone
dumb
from the very
motherfucker.
beginning and I went, I bet he's the killer. Because
I mean, they all
when you
were-
accuse everyone,
Then
then
you
you're
can't be
eventually
wrong.
going to be at least 1/10 right.
Right,
Yeah.
They were, like, there were some really suspicious suspects. So the professor, when they accuse him, he's like, well, I would never. And he sounds
a scientist!
Yeah, that's his defense. He's like, I'm a scientist.
When has science ever been used for evil? Never! Okay, maybe once.
And then there's, like, this cop that's just, I don't even know what he was so accurate to what college campus cops are like, too.
I love that he was like, I hate children and youngins and punks, and that is why I work on a college campus.
Yeah, because it's so accurate. Every single cop who was on our campus when I was in college was, like, just hated being there and
What are you
hated
doing here? I
young
live
people.
here.
Yeah, but, I don't know, Scooby-Doo said ACAB.
He did.
But
Y2K ain't gonna solve itself. What is Y2K?
The year 2000.
Y2K was the thing where everyone's computers were gonna reset to 00 on the calendars, and because of a glitch in, like, all of the software that they had, it was gonna destroy computers.
You might say it was a cyber chase, a virus.
Nice.
I don't know, I'm just making up things now.
Well, I learned one thing today.
What?
Oh, well, what Y2K was. I never knew.
Oh, cool. We brought up the fact that some of the voices in this were kind of funky. So, like, Frank Welker is one of the most famous voice actors of all time. He's literally voiced Fred since the original Scooby-Doo show, and to this day is still the voice of Fred. So he was in it, and I'm like, yeah, solid Fred. And recently, in recent years, he's taken up voicing Scooby. But in this movie, he wasn't voicing Scooby, it was just some other person, and, like, you could definitely tell. Like, I personally think Frank Welker is the best Scooby.
Nice.
Like, he knows the character. But, I mean, I'm not gonna, like, nitpick too hard, because I'm sure it's probably hard to do, but, like...
Shaggy
Give
was
us-
alright.
Yeah, no, Shaggy was good, Velma was good, Daphne I loved, that's Greta Lyle, and she's been Daphne for a while.
I think Shaggy was still Casey Kasem, because he was Shaggy up until he died, and this movie came out, like, right before then.
Didn't Matthew Lillard take over, or did I just, like...
I don't...
Yeah,
Want
Matthew
that
Lillard took over after he did the live-action movies.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's just really good. Yeah, so there were some cybers, and they got chased, but what we really learned was the thing that we really should be chasing is the connections we all make between our friends.
This is true.
I was gonna say what we really learned was that baseball's boring.
That, too!
Yeah,
I want to emphasize that as well.
yeah, it was...
If you enjoy baseball, no tea, no shade, but,
Mhm.
At least, like, baseball video games. Like, if you enjoy it in real life, that's one thing, but, like, I don't know, playing a baseball video game, it just looked so boring. I would rather play the game where I can beam myself into the game.
yeah. Like that other video game where they went to the moon.
Yeah, they meant
went to the
dinosaurs.
moon. They rode on some woolly mammoths.
Daphne beat up a samurai with a rake.
They went to a carnival.
Yeah.
They were in the Coliseum, and Fred beat up a lion.
He did indeed.
And it's also hard to beat up on this movie, because, like, I could say things like, I didn't find it funny, but it's a kid's movie. There's a lot of jokes that, like, I might not find funny, but it might be perfect for, like, a kid.
Yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, I definitely thought it was funny.
And it wasn't like Sonic, where I'm like, this is insulting regardless. It was more like, I see they're trying, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Is Sonic an anime?
Yes.
Ah!
They have made Sonic anime.
There is a Sonic anime. There really
I mean
is.
the movie, though. I believe that there is a Sonic anime, but I'm talking about
Everything's an anime if you try hard enough.
I like that philosophy.
I mean, the Sonic movie was about friendship. I mean, that's as close to anime as you're gonna get.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough.
And Scooby-Doo is about friendship, power of friends.
Even at the very end, when they were distanced from their cyber friends, Scooby Doo flexed his programming skills, which he neglected to demonstrate for the rest of the movie, to feed his cyber counterpart like a bro.
Yeah, Scooby is a hacker. Scooby really did say ACAB. He's like fighting the government. Scooby-Doo runs WikiLeaks
to these cyber individuals.
Scooby-Doo does run WikiLeaks. I'm gonna say it right now.
Scooby-Doo.
He helped Chelsea Manning
redistribute the wealth. Ruby, fight back the power. My Scooby is so bad.
It's okay. It's
That's about as close as I can get.
the effort that counts.
What's like a communist saying?
Seize the means of production.
Production.
Eat the rich. Eat the rich.
Eat the rich. Wow, like Zoink Scoob, eat the rich. My Shaggy is like 0.5% better.
Jinkies.
See, Shaggy redistributed his wealth. He inherited money from a bad Confederate general, and he knew this was bad,
I don't want this.
so he donated all of it to an orphanage.
Mm-hmm.
Be like Shaggy, redistribute the wealth! Redistribute the wealth!
Shaggy's a true communist.
Yeah, and then he gave his mansion to a bunch of ghosts.
He did do that. He's like, nah, I'd rather live in a van.
Right? What is more communist than donating your mansion to ghosts?
Donate all of your family's assets to ghosts and orphans.
Oh my. Porque no los dos. Then you get two really cool sitcom ideas, like living with ghosts, living with kids.
Living with kid ghosts.
Living with kid ghosts!
I mean, that's
Living
what
with
Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School basically was.
Ooh,
That is true.
I'm excited.
So do we have any other thoughts about Scooby and the Cyber Chase? It seems like we're kind of struggling to actually think of very much to say about this.
I remember it was like a really big thing when it came out.
Yeah, I just remember rewatching it on Cartoon Network like a bunch.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised that there was no surfing the web joke where, like, he's literally on a surfboard, like, jumping on a bunch of code.
Yeah.
So I give this movie -50 out of 10. That is a lie.
No.
I don't think that. I think this was a cute movie. I liked it.
Yeah.
No, I still like it. But again, like, not as much as some of the other Scooby-Doo movies, but
I like The Witches Ghost, because it's got, like,
yeah, the
cool
Hex
band.
Girls.
Yeah!
No, the Witch's Ghost is legit. I
Also Tim Curry.
So, I was also trying to describe Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders to Hannah, because she has never seen it.
Yes, that's one of my favorite ones.
I just asked her, like, randomly, I was like, so, would you believe me if I told you that Shaggy falls in love with an alien?
He does.
Kyla, I'll believe anything you tell me.
Man, those movies get really ridiculous, especially in the 90s.
But you know what? They're still great.
They are great.
I'm glad.
It's just their plots are convoluted.
They're still about friendship. That's all we need, right? As long as we have, like,
It's like the
core...
Clue movie. I don't actually care about the mystery. I like the shenanigans.
Yes.
Yeah, like, as long as we have this gang, this group dynamic, and a talking dog, and mysteries, and, like, creepy, spooky things, then we're good. That's all you need for Scooby-Doo.
Yep.
It doesn't need to make sense.
Logic is out the window. That's like when people are always like, they've lost the spirit of the original show. I'm like, they always seem to run around. Scooby-Doo eats some stuff, and they always seem to arrest somebody. So
Somebody gets arrested.
It seems to me the formula is intact.
Yep.
You're just bitter.
I mean, sometimes people don't get arrested. I think in The Witch's Ghost.
Oh, right, he gets sent to hell! Yes!
That was pretty awesome.
Somebody gets incarcerated in one way or another. We'll say that.
Yeah. Do we have any last thoughts about Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase?
Not really. I mean, like, besides, I kind of want to know more about, like, what they did in high school, because their one friend seemed pretty cool, and I want to know about their other friends. I want to know more about their, like, high school life.
Yeah.
It sounds like they probably had a really cool high school life. Well, also, okay, I just want to mention, like, this college campus that they're on. What an amazing budget. Like, they go into the biology lab at one point, and there's just, like, a whole freaking zoo in there.
Mm-hmm.
I know, that was awesome.
They just give out cans of whipped cream to whoever.
Yeah. They go, again, like, they have the budget for their computer programmers to, like, figure out how to beam objects into video games. So whatever college this is, I want to go there. Like,
Yeah, same.
that sounds amazing.
Agreed. Hell, any college. I just want to go there right now. Please.
I would
wanna
like to
learn.
go back to college,
Yeah,
as
I
in
would
be
like to
on
learn.
campus.
Oh, I know.
Never. No, just be safe, everyone.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
Practice good social distance.
If you do need something to cheer you up, I will say Scooby Doo and the Cyber Chase is not on Netflix, unfortunately, but Scooby Doo, What's New Scooby Doo, and Scooby Doo Mystery Incorporated are on Netflix, and I would highly recommend both of those. They're very, very different, but both excellent shows to binge, and Scooby Doo Zombie Island is also on Netflix, and that's a great movie.
Scooby-Doo sparks joy.
Yeah, there are plenty
Yes.
of Scooby-Doo things easily available to watch if you need some joy in your life. And yeah, until then, just stay cool. I guess we'll run our little ad spot now. We are normally found on the podcast Netflix and Kill, which is another Lunar Light podcast, where every other week we talk about horror movies on Netflix. We can be found at Netflix_in, as in the letter in, _kill on Twitter, or on LunarLightStudio.com. Our podcast is on Spotify, iTunes, etc., etc. My personal Twitter is Kai the Jedi. That's KY the Jedi.
You can find me at Frosty the R0bot. Twitter is a mess of a place, and so I like to indulge in that. So beware.
You do you.
Yeah, and you can find me painting random strangers' vans with flowers and the mystery ink on the side. That's right, it was me! I painted the van!
Right on.
That was really That's like some talent, honestly, if you can paint a van.
Thank you, I use stencils.
That's awesome.
You did a
Your
good
lines
job.
are so clean.
I'm proud they kept it.
Stay safe. Avoid computer viruses and
Avoid real-life viruses.
Yes.
yeah, just watch Scooby-Doo. Just stay inside and watch Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
Do your homework if you have to, but if you don't have to, watch Scooby-Doo.
Yes. Until next time.
Ruby, redistribute the wealth!
Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
That was pretty good.
That was good. Can I do one Scooby-Doo? I don't think I've done one yet.
Do it.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo!